In this video, I'll show you how SKAARHOJ integrates with ClearCom Station IC software. And this intercom software runs on your workstation using a headset, but with SKAARHOJ panels, you get tactile control. No need to use a mouse or keyboard to operate it. And with our Reactor software, Station IC can drop right into your existing setups for a seamless and user-friendly solution. So I'll go over 3 things in this video. I'll show you an out-of-the-box configuration for the Inline 10. I'll be adding intercom functions to an AirFly Pro while it is operating a Ross Carbonite switcher. And I'll also try to build a custom panel from scratch. So Station IC looks like this, and that's the software running on your computer. You can press this button to talk, and you can also adjust audio volumes here with a fader. Let me see, yes. And you can also listen on each of the channels available. So that's basically the software we're operating. Now let's focus on the Inline 10, this little panel that has 4 encoders, 6 buttons. Those are 4-way buttons. And on the second button here, we are talking to channel number 1. It's called English. It has a label English. That label is in the display, taken out of the software. Channel 1, channel 2, channel 3. Those labels are also in here on those. So now we are talking to 2 of the channels, and I'm now undoing that. If I press the upper edge, I am listening. No, wait. Yes, I am listening on those channels as well. So this is how it works with the tactile control. You see in the display whether we are listening or talking. That's shown with a little indication next to the label. Okay, so that's pretty easy, right? We can also talk and listen at the same time. Let's just disable listening. We can page multiple channels. So we can go up to channel number 13 to 16 here. Let's try to 15. Let's talk to channel number 15. Yes, that works just fine. Notice how these encoders are adjusting the volume. So we are currently from channel 13 to 16, and we'll see that if we go into channel number 15 here, I have an encoder knob right there that will adjust the volume of channel 15. So you can also do that from the Inline 10. Let's move on to, no, wait, actually, there was global listening and talking as well. Let's just cover the whole thing with that. If I press it, you see this little indication up here is being toggled. And if I press this one, I am now listening globally. Let's focus on the next one. No, actually, I want to show you the Inline 10 configuration because every one of these panels has its own UI, and we'll go over it in a moment. Okay, so this is the UI of the Inline 10. ClearCom is an out-of-the-box configuration chosen for the Inline 10. So you get that at a device with its IP address. When it's connected, it's working, as you see in this video. And now let's move on to the AirFly Pro. So on the AirFly Pro, this panel over here, we currently talk to a Ross Carbonite. We are set up with that IP address. It's running there. And we have the exact same device core for ClearCom Station IC installed. Let's just look at the settings of that. All you need to do is to point it to the IP address of your workstation where ClearCom Station IC is running, and type in the API key that you are given from the software, and it will connect and authenticate. Now, what I want to do is to use user button 1 and 2 to globally listening and talking. Okay, so I just go to configuration. Everything else is fine. If I press buttons over here, I am actually operating at Ross Carbonite. But what I want to do is to focus down here. And the best way to do that is to make sure you're in a user section. A user section means that you get the chance to overlay stuff onto the control panel instead of trying to change what is already there. So we want to put in functions here. We click the first button. We open up the menu of ClearCom Station IC device core, and we choose global. We can do global talk and listen, and you can see it in the display. It's the same on the web UI here. So just see if I press the lower edge, I am basically talking or toggling the talk. If I press the upper edge of the button, I'm toggling listen, and I get the red feedback on the button, and I can have both of them enabled at the same time if I want. I actually wanted to have listening and talking on each button, so I will just change the behavior here to listen, and for the other one I want to change it to talk. So that's basically in place already, but I need to just set a few additional values. For the off state I want to select off, for the on state I want to select on, and on this one for the off state I want to select off, and for the on state I want to select on. It's not always as obvious. This is why it's a choice, because sometimes it could be not on and off, but true and false, and other values that you wanted. That could be 3 values that you wanted to toggle forth and back between. This is why those options are in the UI of the inspector here. But right now, we should be able to see that I can turn on and off listening and talking. In fact, as we are seeing these changes happening when I'm pressing the buttons, we are also on the Inline 10 seeing this change. And I also want to check out the Station IC software. So Station IC software, you see the buttons up here in the corner. Yes, on and off are clearly shown in the UI. Let's move on to the next panel. So going back to the UIs, this is the rack control Uno. And going to this one, I have basically created a new custom configuration. But let's just remove configuration. And then I'll go here, create custom configuration, new ClearCom config. Okay, create. I already have Station IC connected, so that's the third panel connected directly to my workstation with Station IC with the same API key and all those things. And I now go into the configuration, and you see the panel is blank, like the actual panel is blank. So what I want to do is now completely up to me, and I think across these buttons, I think I want to have like toggle buttons for talking and so on, just like we have seen in the other configurations. So again, I select these buttons, and in the inspector, I am now able to assign an action to 12 different buttons. So let me see, we can find, it would be the ones called channel actions for top button edge. So it's basically built into this that we will have that. But right now it says none and none because we have not assigned channel numbers to it. So let's do that. Channel number, I guess 1. And we will also put in a top function, and that will be 1, and a button function, which will be 4. Sorry, those are magic numbers. And I don't even know where I know them from, but this would be in the manual or something. So in this particular case, there are 4 different functions you can have on the top and bottom. And it is documented in the device core how that exactly works. But it gives me talk and listen just like we have seen a moment ago. So right now, I already have it. The thing is that this is now doing everything for channel number 1. But we have a very cool feature inside of Reactor. So in fact, when you have a bunch of things like this assigned the same thing, you can use the batch editor. And in the batch editor, we clearly see that they are all on the same channel. But if I place my cursor in the first field and press +1, I am now increasing by a value of 1 all the way down. Yes. And now I have talk and listen on each of the channels individually. It says in the display, English, channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, etc. So it's also fetching the labels. Essentially, what I just did was to create the same row of functionality as we have on the Inline 10 up here. So, and they can, by the way, operate simultaneously. So you'll see that this is the same function between the two. I may actually have swapped the top and bottom functions here. So in fact, if I go into my batch editor, I could say, okay, top should be 4. I just noticed that because this turns white when this is red. And I think, let's just turn it off. Yeah, okay. So so when I press here, I'm basically active. So lower edge down here would be upper edge here and vice versa for the 2. But I'm now going to change that because now I'm making the top edge 4 all the way. And then I'm making the bottom edge 1. So, okay, great with magic numbers. Not perfect for this demonstration, but boom, this is now aligned between the 2 panels. So now you see it's the bottom edge is the same and the top edge is going to be the same between these 2 panels. Okay, so let's just clear all this up. Great. Now, when you're building a configuration, there's a nice paging paradigm. You know it from many other types of configuration software. You can add another page. So I'll just add page 2. Page number 2 is essentially a blank canvas, and I could now do the exact same by selecting these and adding the behavior right from the inspector. But instead, I want to show you that I can go to the background, I can select the first one, copy it, go to page number 2 and I could now insert it. In fact, I could insert it across these 12 keys, paste, and now immediately I have that functionality on these keys. Unfortunately, it goes for all of them. They are now all doing this for the first channel. Now, that is easy fix because I go into the batch editor and there you see I basically type in 13 and then I increase the numbers. And before I know it, I now have the individual channels 12, 13, 14, 15, etc. shown here on the buttons, and they are operating those channels as well. Let's just move forward so we can see that for channel 14 here, toggling 14 on and off, listening on and off, and it's also reflected on the inline 10. So what you may wonder now is how do I go forth and back between the background and page number 2, and we will assign a key to do that. So real quick, on page number 2, we'll go into navigation, we'll select pages, and with this, actually, I think let's just go back and, yeah, select pages is fine. Sorry about that. And I'll select background. So when I'm on that page, it goes to background. When I go to the background, I'll do the same and select page, and I will go to page number 2. So now I have a paging key forth and back here. I also feel like I want to change a little bit the color of it. So I ideally want to have it amber. On this, on page number 2, I also want to have it amber. So I click it, open more, open default, press colors, click amber. That's it. So on page number 2, instead of saying background in the display, I also want to change the text line to say page number 1, which is more natural to me in this case. So I'll just do that. And now it says page number 1. Page number 1, page number 2, amber color, change of a title in that particular one. Now, if I want to have adjustment of volume, I can do that as well. So I could drag across these. Now, notice that you need to keep your eyes on where are you. You're on the background right now. You're on the normal shift level, so that's all fine. Let's try to adjust audio volume here. And we see this is all for channel 1, so we get English, 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 and that is sort of not exactly what we intended, but we'll quickly change that. We know how to. But again, you can see it is actually 6. So if I change the volume on the inline 10 to something else, it's also reflected here, and it is reflected on the rack control Uno as well. So we have that for all the channels. But of course, we want to use the batch editor to change the channel to 2, 3, 4, like that. And now we have it for the individual channels. Now, we could basically go on like this and configure the rest of the buttons. We could make a shift level if we want, because we can go in here and then while we are seeing the channel 1, 2, 3, 4, we can now make 5, 6, 7, 8 if we want on a shifted level and make a shift key, etc. And we can also use the remaining buttons for global talk, etc. Of course, we can do that. It would be super quickly done actually. So just boom. And now we have actually global talk enabled here and listen on that button. So this is how it works. Out-of-the-box configuration, overlaying an existing one that is doing switching on a Ross Carbonite, and building something from scratch with paging using Reactor's configuration tab. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to follow us and see other solutions for cameras and switcher control, router control, and all kinds of accessories that you have, and see it integrated on SKAARHOJ panels, please like and subscribe. This channel has a lot of videos coming out each month. We also have a newsletter, we have social media channels on Facebook, Instagram, and X, and of course we are also human beings behind all this content and products, so you can reach out to our sales and support team anytime you like, and they'll be happy to help you.